Good afternoon, everyone. Getting settled in here. I hope everyone is having a fantastic start to the week. Our Tuesday is pretty much over here on the East Coast. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Hi. Anybody can give me a thumbs up? Let me know if you can hear me okay. And I see people joining. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Olivia. That's what I needed, a thumbs up that you could hear me. That's awesome that you can. So my name is Erika Ward, and I'll get started in a couple minutes. But as you know, you are here to engage with me in this High Point Market Style Spotters live event. And we're going to be talking about building relationships at High Point Market, which is a great topic to discuss because we all, and you know what, everything that I have to say really pertains to just about anywhere, really, or any event that you may go to, but we're talking specifically about High Point. And I actually jotted down some notes because there's so much that I want to talk about and kind of jam into this 1 hour session. And I don't want to talk your ear off, but I definitely want to give you some really valuable takeaways because your time is valuable. And you're here with me, and I appreciate that so very much. We have people from all over the world here. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see everyone. And I see some familiar names. Hey, Leslie. And let's see who else is on here. We have someone from Dubai. Thank you guys for jumping on today. And I won't take a whole lot of your time, but I will take as much as you'll give me. And it is 4:00, and I tend to be a prompt person, so I love to get started. If that's okay with everyone else. Hey, Justin. Hey. So building relationships at High Point Market. I mean, that could be a session in itself at Market. You know what I mean? And High Point Market is the largest trade show for the home industry in the world. And, you know, it's something where we all come together, whether you're vendors. Oh, shout out from Ghana. Hey, Ghana. Okay. Vendors, designers, artisans. We've got buyers. You've got distributors and manufacturers. There's such a wide range of fields there within the home industry sector, and building relationships is important, and so important that I'm going to give you, I have 15 tips if I can get through them, 15, okay, as to how to make this opportunity, this investment for you to attend Market really helpful, valuable for you, not just once, but, you know, for years to come, okay? And I'd say for a lifetime, for as long as you're in business, I think you definitely should make time to attend at least one of the two markets. They happen in April and in October of every year. And I always intend on going to at least one, and I end up going to both for the most part. But let me go ahead and get started. So number one, I would say planning ahead really is so crucial because your time is precious. Oftentimes Market lasts about 5 days, and where you may not be able to take 5 days away from your work, even if it's 2 or 3 days, you want to make sure you get the maximum value of the time spent there. So, you know, think about in advance or research any exhibitors or attendees that you may know, who you want to connect with. Someone asked, what is the best month to come to High Point? Gosh, I don't have a preference personally because, again, each time I go with a purpose. So because I come already with my purpose, And as long as I get those things done that I set out to get done, whether it's April or October, anytime is great, to be honest. That is my honest opinion. And so, in planning, think about if you want to, make connections with other designers, whether you want to establish relationships with suppliers, or if you want to connect with other brands to maybe do partnerships or collaborative things, or just even expand your client base depending upon your job. So like, you may not be a designer, but you may be a furniture rep, and wanting to expand your client base, going to market is crucial because just about everyone there is a potential client. Okay. And again, number one, that's planning ahead. Number two would be creating an elevator pitch. Now we hear that, and it sounds really markety, and I don't know how that may feel to you, but sometimes the elevator pitch would feel kind of, contrived for me. But you have to be able to communicate what you do, in a concise way. So for us, as interior designers, we service busy professionals, and we look to make their homes their sanctuaries. So that tells you that my clientele are basically busy professionals, and we look to create feelings of serenity in their home. So we're also a wellness-based organization. And so if you can, so sorry, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I just got an interruption. I apologize. Should have done that ahead of time. I'm back. So sorry. So sorry about that. So elevator pitch is helpful because then you immediately are able to, tell someone what you do, and they'll immediately be able to know, this is Erika. She's an interior designer. She works with busy professionals, and she has a wellness-based company, period. Be approachable. I've been told personally that I have a disarming personality, and I just think what that means is I make people comfortable in my presence. But at the same time, I also subscribe to the idea of just be who you are, and the world will learn how to adjust. Okay. So, if you tend to be kind of a high energetic person, be that person, but also know kind of how to temper it, read the room if that come across a little bit overbearing for some, I don't know. But smile. That's something simple, right? That makes you feel inviting, makes someone feel inviting, right? Make eye contact. That's a great one. Be open and friendly. Approach others with like warmth and enthusiasm to break the ice. And again, you can read someone else's body language. That helps. But just even being, unapologetically you, whatever that looks like. But just be warm. Just smile. That's a good start. Just smile, right? Attend networking events. That's a great one. There are so many opportunities to network at this at market. You have, if you go to High Point's website and you look at their happenings, there is a whole list, a calendar of events, if you will, and there's something for everyone. So if you like to eat, there's food. If you like music and dancing, that tends to get people, loosened up a little bit. There's a little bit of sips, that gets, people going and feeling relaxed. But then there's also, really in-depth content, topics that are of interest to just about everybody. I saw one that I'm particularly interested in, and it was about how to integrate technology into your business. And this is after the sale, right? So I was just thinking, wow, that's just something that I didn't think about before, but after kind of looking at the offerings, I think that's something that I might want to look into, right? And if you want to chime in and to talk about any type of events that you've attended, please share. in the comments as to which events that you've gone to that have been beneficial for you. And this is High Point specific, High Point market specific. And utilize social media. I mean, that's what we're doing right now. And if you will, just invite a friend to this live right now if you know how to do that. Have them come on in, because I do think that the information that I'm discussing right now is very, very, very valuable. I think, again, this transfers to even your day-to-day operations in your business. I think that this is helpful for just about any place you might attend, any conferences or markets that you might attend in the future. Super helpful to utilize social media and to stay active on the platform during your visit. Now, does that mean you have to constantly be on your phone? Absolutely not. I think it's helpful to take pictures and video for your personal records when you get back home and you've seen so much and you need to kind of remember, what all you saw, right? But I think also sharing, maybe at the end of the day or at lunchtime, allows you to then also connect with others on social. It allows your clients or whomever that may also be a part of your social media or follow you on social media, see that you invest in yourself as far as learning, right? You invest in your company. They see what you see. You kind of pulling the curtain back a little bit, and people love insight into your day-to-day, especially super fun events like High Point Market. Okay, share your experiences, because prior to coming to High Point, there may be someone who's kind of on the fence and not knowing whether or not that will be something for them, right? But if they see you on social and see what you're doing and what you're learning and who you're meeting, that may also motivate them to hop on in there and join the fun, right? Connect with other attendees. If you see that there's someone at High Point that you've been wanting to meet and they're sharing their finds, you can actually reach out to them because they've already let you know where they are. Hey, so-and-so, I'm here too. Can we catch up for a second for coffee? That's not out of place, and that's something that I've totally done as well. And use the hashtags, the High Point Market hashtags, and this helps to increase visibility for you and your brand, but it also allows you to see what's happening. So there may be some things that you've been unaware of, but if you follow the hashtag, you can discover something that may be happening in real time or maybe days later while you're still there, okay? Number 6, I can't believe I'm at number 6 already, but exchange business cards. And there's so many different ways now where you can share your business information. Traditional business cards completely work, that you can still do that. But then, we've got another month or so before market actually starts. So you may actually want to have some printed in advance or explore other things like QR codes. And you can make a QR code online and somebody can just simply scan your card or your piece of paper and it will import that information, your information, to their phone. So QR codes are a great way, and it's less paper, virtually free, because I believe you can create a QR code online free of charge. But what this does, though, it takes you beyond social media even, and it gives somebody, your address to your store or to your studio, gives them your phone number, whatever information that you want to include. I just think it's great to just exchange it with people that you meet and make sure that your cards are professional and include like these essential contact information, some way that somebody can kind of continue the conversation with you. And speaking of conversation, engage in meaningful conversations. That's not my number 7 tip for building relationships at High Point. And, take your time. And I say that take your time, but not all of someone's time. But really think about how to make a connection with someone instead of just kind of rushing from person to person to person. I don't know. I just don't think you'll be as memorable versus you actually taking the time to have a high quality conversation with somebody and, asking open-ended questions. Well, how long have you been coming to High Point? Or, when was your first visit to High Point? Or what have you seen that's really inspired you since you've been here so far? Or, actually kind of ask someone else for advice about, sourcing rugs or, lighting or just anything. I think people love to kind of be like in the know. And sometimes people like to feel that they're, teaching you something or sharing some really great information. And I think if you come with open-ended questions and also be able to, share your thoughts. So it's not just them talking, it's a conversation. It's not a monologue, it's a dialogue, and you all are engaging each other. And again, this is the purpose of, wanting to, keep in touch with a person and giving them a reason to actually want to talk to you again. And so with that, I think number 8 is really important, and that's follow-up. Once you leave market, you're going back to your day-to-day, and that sometimes is hectic as it is. But if you just take some time to kind of follow up with those people that you want to keep in contact with, do it sooner than later. Maybe, especially if this is a brand that you want to at some point do a collaboration with, send them a personal email that's nice or a handwritten thank you, for the conversation, their hospitality, either of those things works. And then also express your interest to continue the relationship with them, the conversation. And I can say that, my first time as a High Point style spotter was in 2016. And there were probably about 8 of us total. And those people who were there serving the same time that I served, I still have some sort of contact with them or can reach them because we made really meaningful connections during that time as a style spotter. Marie Flanagan, interiors, Bryn Olsen, design, and Sage, Mulaney Barnett, Michelle Wiebe, and these are people you may or may not know, but they are individuals who I met or maybe have met online first, but then met in person and continue to talk to them. Jeannie Chung, just kind of, they're coming to my mind as I talk about them, and I smile because we had an amazing time. And again, these are people that I continue to converse with and lean on if I need to for advice or etc. Leverage technology is my number 9 point. And what does that mean? Using network apps or software that might be available at the event. High Point Market does have an app for you to download, and it's really helpful because we're talking 11,500,000. Okay, sorry. So we're talking 11,500,000 square feet of showroom space, and the app is so helpful in getting around. And even as a seasoned High Point goer, I still pull out the app. And then sometimes showrooms or exhibitors rather change locations, And so that's helpful to be able to find them really easy. But you can also use the app to find events like we talked about. Number 4, attending the network events. Those events are in that app. And I don't know if you can schedule meetings through the app. There may be some other exhibitors that have apps, or sometimes they use Google to schedule showroom meetings where you'd be able to engage with them one-on-one, because that time is important, that one-on-one time with whoever it is that you intend on meeting when you come to market. My number 10 point is dress appropriately. And it just simply means you dress how you want to, obviously, but this is my life and my advice. So I just think you should dress professionally and dress in a manner that represents your brand. So case in point, I've got on a blazer. There's a tank top under here because I'm a casual person. Headband's casual, but I can also put this on, this jacket on, this blazer on. And it's professional because I am a polished professional. This is my version of that. And it's still approachable. I'm not stuffy or buttoned up. And if you are buttoned up, that's fine too. Like I said, be who you are. But dress that goes aligned with that represents your personal brand, because first impressions are lasting impressions. They count. So make sure you look the part. And the other piece to that is you want to be comfortable. Okay. So you do a ton of walking at market and a lot of standing on your feet. You may have temperature changes in and out of showrooms. So if you run a little hot, the showrooms are definitely going to cool you down. They typically are cold. So a jacket is great for that. A sweater, because if you are maybe already kind of apprehensive or uncomfortable with the idea of talking to people, that right there is enough to, make you a little uncomfortable, but you don't want your dress or your attire to, impede your performance, right? Or your ability to take your time and have these meaningful connections and meaningful conversations, as we talked about before. Number 11 is stay informed. Okay. So there's so many different ways to stay informed. Naturally you have High Point Market's website, but then there are a number of other publications, industry publications, that help you to keep your finger on the pulse of the industry. There's Business of Home that comes to mind, Home Accents. Today comes to mind. It says hat on the front. Furniture Today is another one. And there are individual companies that also put out their own publications. I know Universal Home has Explore Home as a publication. And then at the main building at High Point, there is a newsstand with all of these publications that I just mentioned and a ton more. Thank you. There's a ton more there that you could actually pick up and take with you for reading later. But I just think kind of having an idea of what's happening in our market today really helps to make, your trip purposeful. I think it helps even with the conversation pieces that we're talking about, because you may be able to talk about a current event or something like that, or get someone's opinion about something you read. So, just staying informed goes a long way, and it can really just, it looks great on your part. Let's see, number 12 is be authentic. Again, I just think there is a movement right now of encouraging people to be comfortable in their own skin. Again, be who you are. So like these tips that I'm sharing with you, they don't take away from who you are. I think they help to enhance who you are and to further be able to expand on your self-expression and to kind of sometimes get us out of our shell. Okay. So someone asked, what is the topic of conversation? So for those who are joining us, we're 20 minutes into a conversation about building relationships at High Point Market. Okay. Building relationships at High Point Market. So, you decide to come. Now what? So far, we've discussed 11 points. And if I can just quickly just run back through, I won't elaborate on each of them, but the first one was to plan ahead. Know your motives for attending, what you want to accomplish while you're there. Create an elevator pitch is number 2. Let people be able to understand who and what you do. Number 3, be approachable. Smile, right? And that will even draw people to you, right? Attend networking events. I've been to some amazing parties. I know Tall Furniture gave a party at High Point Market. And music, the best food, dancing. We had a blast. We work really hard. When I say work hard, going into all these showrooms, meeting reps, placing orders, that's work. It looks like a lot of fun, and we are having fun, but that's work. But being able to go to a party afterwards, I think, is a real treat. Utilizing social media to make connections prior to your visit and even after your visit. We got some more people coming in. So again, we're talking about building relationships at High Point Market. Exchanging business cards. We also talked about being able to create QR codes to be able to easily share your information with people. Hi, Chrissy. We're talking about building relationships at High Point Market. Number 7, engage in meaningful conversations. And so this is, again, having conversations with other people that you may either want to do business with or connect with because you all live in the same city, or, somebody may have on an interesting outfit. There's definitely no shortage of fashion at High Point. I do think fashion and home decor go hand in hand. I love that. I'm such a people watcher and love to see how creatives put things together. We talked about following up with those people even after the experience is over and connecting sooner than later. We talked about leveraging technology and downloading the High Point Market app to really get greater mileage out of your experience and being able to, find where you're going because we're talking about 11,500,000 square feet of showroom space and we need a map, right? We also talked about being able to see what events are happening in real time or even afterwards, right? We also are talking about, I'm talking because I'm the only one talking, right? Dressing appropriately and not necessarily telling you what to do because you're an adult. We're just talking about you dressing in a manner that represents your brand. Regina Andrew is a great brand out of Detroit, and it's kind of a rocker vibe. I can totally imagine someone having an outfit on from that works with Regina Andrew that really reflects their laid back, rocking out vibe. That's totally appropriate, right? Because again, first impressions count. All right. Number 11 was about staying informed and knowing what's happening in our industry. And even if you've never read an industry magazine before, they have all of them at the main building, and you'd be able to grab whatever interests you and read up on it, during lunch, and it makes for great conversation with other people that you may meet while you're at market. We were at number 12, which was be authentic, and it's being yourself and just really being able to relax, take a deep breath and just be you. There's someone out here for everyone. You will find your person at High Point. I just think being authentic goes a long way because if you are someone else, people are going to find out later and then you're going to look dishonest. So just be authentic, be genuine, and transparent in your interactions. Like, what I hate more than anything is to talk to somebody, and I'm a very discerning person, but to know that there's a whole nother reason why they want to talk to me, but they're not talking to me about that. They're talking to me about something else. And so if they just came and made their intentions known, hey, great. Well, let's talk about that. Like, don't beat around the bush. Just be authentic, right? And at the same time, you want to respect someone's time and their space. Because again, while it may have been on your list to meet this person, you're not on their list. You may not be on their list. And you don't want to monopolize or attempt to monopolize their time. You want to understand that they have a busy schedule. Yes, Jeffrey, I am an interior designer out of Atlanta, Georgia. And you understand people have busy schedules, and you just don't want to push any lengthy conversations with them if they're not available. Okay, so again, we want to make our intentions known, but also know how to kind of give somebody some space if need be, and ask for their information so you can maybe continue the conversation at another time if that moment in time isn't good for them. And that's okay. It's fine. There's so many other people to talk to. It's fine. It's okay. All right. So I have number 14, learn from others. That is a big one. Okay. So I am personally a forever student. I'm a lifelong student. I never feel like I know everything. Okay. And I don't present myself as someone who knows everything. Okay. So just as much as I may, what is the app's name? The app that I discussed was High Point Market app. And if you go on their website, I'm sure there's a link to the app as well. But what I'm saying, learn from others. Just as much as I share with others, I glean information from them too. And I feel like no matter where you are, in what stage of your business, there's always opportunities to learn and expand and to grow. And so that's one of my tip number 11 is learn from others. So we're just talking about conversations, obviously. Then we're also talking about educational seminars, which there are so many opportunities, and you can get continuing education credits for some. I know Jaipur has Rugs 101 coming up, and you can actually get 1 credit. So we've got modern pressed flower. I'm excited to be at High Point this year. I'm excited for you. I really am. And I can't ever say that I've had a time that I was disappointed and I regretted going. I mean, never. At least, again, not for me, because I come with a plan. I come with a purpose. I come with an open heart. I come with learning. I do have an agenda. There may be some accounts that I might want to open, or maybe new product lines I need to discover. So again, I come with my own plan, and because I come with my own, but I'm open to receive other opportunities, it's always been a really great experience for me. Are architecture and design students allowed to come? That's an excellent question, and I would say yes. There are some requirements that need to be met prior to your attendance all of that is on the High Point Market website, and you would look under the area where it talks about attendees or the area at registration. So no, I do not work for High Point Market. I am this year's, there's 5 of us. They're called Style Spotter All-Stars. And so what we are here to do is to identify trends and share them with you. Trends in market, in any of the lighting, furniture, rugs, home decor sector, and to also help you get more mileage out of your experience at High Point Market, and to really encourage you to attend. I mean, this is thank you. I hope to meet you as well. So this happens twice a year, in April and in October. I can't say which market is better than the other one. I've loved both of them. I can just say, just come. Just come. highpointmarket.org is the website, and you can find out what the requirements or the criteria are for attendance. It is free to attend. Of course, you take care of your own travel and your hotel. But what we're doing here is we are talking about building relationships at High Point Market. Okay. So if I can just engage you in 2 more points, because I think they're also extremely important for me to cover while we're on this live, is as we talked about respecting someone's time and space, and we're building relationships, okay? Learning from others. And so then we also talked about, or we haven't talked about, but I wanted to mention about staying patient and persistent, okay? And building relationships, whether it's personal or professional, they take time. And, you know, you don't want to necessarily force anything. But I think the tips that I'm providing for you help to accelerate your ability to connect with someone. And I have to tell you, like, don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate results from your meeting with someone. Don't stop. I mean, don't be weird or make them feel strange because you keep calling them. Like, don't do that. But find other ways to engage, maybe on social, maybe comment on their feed, or maybe join their newsletter. I don't know. But I mean, just thinking of other ways that you can be visible and communicative with someone without making them uncomfortable. But just keep nurturing the connection in some way, and figure out what pace that needs to be for you, what feels comfortable. Because these relationships that you establish at market can be long-term partnerships and end up turning into some type of collaboration later on. You approach each interaction with the mindset of mutual benefit. It's not just what you can get from the engagement, is what you can also give. And I think that really probably should have been point number 1. You know, think about what you want to give, because each and every one of us some of us do the same thing. I mean, there are a plethora of interior designers in Atlanta, but each and every one of us have a unique perspective, and we are unique. We're individuals, and there are opportunities for us. There's room for everyone. Room for everyone. Okay, let's just put that out there. So not just in Atlanta, but in the world in general, and at High Point Market, there's room for everyone. Okay. And I just think that you'll find success. You'll find your way, but I think I've given you 15 points. So even if you took 2, 3, 4 pieces of this advice, it's going to be tremendously helpful to you in building valuable relationships in the home furnishing industry. That's why we're here. That's what this whole live is about right now. It's being able to, you know, even navigate the hard times. Obviously, we still kind of are in this global pandemic, but in the thick of things, oh my gosh, we all can, you know, identify with that scary feeling and the experience that we had. And those of you like myself for a while who worked as a solopreneur felt even more, you know, isolated. Right now we have a team of 6, and, you know, being in a leadership position also, you know, felt isolating, even though that there are others around me, because your team are looking for you for direction in uncertain times. And during during the thick of the pandemic, because I had established these relationships with my vendors, I was able to have really frank conversations with my reps about timing of product arrival, what's available inventory wise. And it really helped me to make wise decisions about items that I sourced for projects. Even talking to other designers who I met at High Point Market during the pandemic to see how they were navigating things and how they were interacting with clients, or what new services, right, that they develop to still cater to the needs of their clients when we may not have been able to go in and out of homes, right? A lot of that stuff was done virtually. But the point I'm trying to make here is that building those relationships ahead of time made it really easy to navigate, or easier rather, to navigate the work, right? The industry during the time of the pandemics, because we made those connections on the front end. Partnerships and collaborations. I've been able to have partnerships with other designers in creating furniture pieces for them. And that was an amazing opportunity that I don't know if I would have been afforded had I not met them at High Point Market. There are other opportunities where I had worked with Furniture, TLV, in creating a bed and a dresser, which actually is for sale on their website right now. And again, those are opportunities that I was able to grow and nurture from. And they came about because of my attendance at market, and because I was actually forthcoming with, you know, what my goals are and what I haven't seen in the market but would love to see, and how I could contribute. Because remember, we talked about not just what you can get from engaging in these conversations, but what you can also give. Okay. So for those who are just joining us, we're talking about building relationships at High Point Market. Okay, and these are some tips and advice and some etiquette now. I'm realizing that some of this is also some etiquette. And it's not to say you don't know how to act. I'm not making that claim. All I'm just saying is these are just what's worked for me. And I think I've done a fantastic job of connecting, because I am a connector of people, not just connecting myself with someone. I also like to connect others. And in order for me to do that, I have to be able to effectively communicate and get to know other people. So then I can always, you know, be able to connect the two individuals or the two companies, or the creator and the company. And, you know, they start a rug line or art collection. It could be anything, right? So those who had not been a part of the conversation from the start, the live started at 4:00. So I've been talking about building relationships at High Point Market for the last 40 minutes. And I see that there are some people who are saying that these tips and advice that I'm sharing are valuable to them. And it's not anything groundbreaking. It really isn't. I hope this actually feels very simplistic to you, because what I don't want is for you to feel overwhelmed. That's not what this is. This is just thinking about how you can show up, right, as your best self and show up knowing what you want and being able to communicate that to someone else. And also, this is about discovery and learning. There are 2 opportunities every year to do this in April and October. And planning is essential, okay? And I have to say, I didn't always plan my visits. Sometimes I just go to market and just kind of browse, like window shop, so to speak, and explore. 2 weeks ago, I was on the live with Dawn, and Dawn and I talked about, showrooms off the beaten path. I mean, because you can stay in the main building, IHFC, the entire market, because they are tons of showrooms in just that one building. Okay. But we talked about just really just opening yourself up. And you do that just by you got to come, first of all. So you got to register, because if you can sit here and listen to me and not register, that's not very helpful. But come on through, come register, and come with an open mind. Being able to express to someone, for those who are joining, my name is Erika Ward. I'm an Atlanta-based interior designer that loves to help busy professionals make their home their sanctuary. That is my elevator pitch. You immediately know exactly who I am, what my geographical location is, and what's important to me in my business is wellness and creating a sanctuary within my clients' homes. We're a concierge level service firm, and we're here to serve. So that's kind of my elevator speech. It doesn't have to be 30 seconds. I think I rattled that off in maybe 2 or 3 seconds, right? And approachability and building relationships is of the utmost importance. And so also knowing how to listen, right? I know I'm doing most of the talking because I am the host of this live, but your conversation with someone is not a monologue, it's a dialogue. And so being able to listen just as much as you're talking is very helpful, because you can do more learning by listening than you do talking, right? And these networking events, I can't tell you enough how valuable those are. And you can actually earn continuing education credits, towards ASID or any other professional organization you may be a member of. I mentioned Jaipur has Rugs 101. That's 1 CEU credit. And think about how much more, how better it makes you to kind of know what you're looking for if you have a better idea of rug construction, right? Rug materials, wear and tear. I mean, be able to educate your client and to be really be able to drill down what type of rugs you'd be able to sell to your specific clientele. So that's just an example. But there are also opportunities that you can learn how to better run your business. There was one that I was particularly interested in. It talked about utilizing technology after the sale. That also goes through with one of my points about following up, because even in my industry, as an interior designer, we do a job and we may work with a client, as little as 6 months, 2 years, or 3 years if there's like a new build. But what happens after you spent 2-3 years of your life with someone? You may be really happy that that project's done, but then again, you may not. You may want to find ways to continue. If you don't have any clients yet, someone asked if they can attend if they're just getting started. Yes. So there are qualifications listed on the website, highpointmarket.org, where you can find out what type of information you need to submit in order to be able to attend. But most definitely, I wish that I had the audacity. So sorry about that. I wish I had attended market when I first started my business. I mean, it's been incredibly beneficial for the very reasons that I've been talking about in the last 50 minutes. But it allows you to connect and to find even people that can kind of be sort of like a mentors to you, if that's the reason why you're attending, right? To just meet other designers and just have casual conversation. You're not asking them for their trade secrets. You're just introducing yourself as a new designer, and maybe asking them what is their best advice, or maybe asking them which showrooms are designer friendly. Not to say that people are unfriendly, but there are some showrooms that really cater to designers and have programs for them to help them succeed in their business, no matter how big or small. Okay. Again, don't forget to download the High Point Market app. That's going to be a tremendous resource in helping you navigate the market experience, and to know where you're going, and to also see who's going to be there. Okay. That really, I think I downloaded the app. I download actually every time. I should just probably keep it on my phone, but because we're talking 11 million square feet of showroom space, and you're not going to remember where everything is. And your feet are hurt so bad you don't remember where your car is. How about that? So anyway, be sure you wear comfortable footwear. One of the things that I'm going to do before I come in the next month or so is print new business cards. That's something that I need to do, because I truly was ignorant and thought that business cards, nobody gave them out anymore. But that's not true. People ask me for business cards all the time. And so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to find out how to create a QR code that I could actually print on paper or a card and allow someone to scan it and be able to capture my information. Like I said, there are always ways for us to improve. And although I'm the host of this live today and I'm the one providing all the tips, there are some things that I can actually brush up on myself. I continually stay informed. I have a stack of magazines, design magazines that I like to get caught up on. And, the ones that particularly interest me, again, are, what are the forecasts? Not just the trend forecast as far as aesthetics, but what are some of consumers buying? What are some of consumer buying habits that they're seeing? I'm just thinking about the wealth of information that's being provided here that will help you to make strategic decisions and in your business, and thinking about the future, and not just next quarter, but we're thinking next year, next 2 years, next 3 years. Because if you've been in this industry for a while, you recognize that, things change and your interests change. I'm so glad this session has been useful for you. Thank you so much for joining us. And I just was reading the comment. I'm so glad. Thank you for joining us. The other thing that I was going to say is, like, starting out, my business was more on a consultancy basis. And so I really wasn't sourcing a lot of product at the time, but I had product knowledge. Okay. But then as my family grew and my kids went to schools, able to start offering product and doing more home visits and installations and full service interior design projects. Now my business is growing, and now we're looking to get into more e-commerce and retail. So you see, in just, the 15 years that I've been in business at Erika Ward Interiors, my business is growing and is evolving, and High Point has allowed me to shine in each and every chapter of my business and the progression that we've made. And so that, again, is just me as an interior designer, but you may be a creator or artisan of some kind. Let's see, someone asked, what are the names of a few industry publications you mentioned? Home Accents Today, I mentioned Explore Home. I mentioned Furniture Today is another publication. Business of Home. And a lot of these publications that I'm mentioning right now are also available online. Okay. You'll be able to download some of them in a PDF format, or there's an app called, not an app, a website called Issue. You don't have to download the app or join the hold on, what am I trying to tell you? It's just, you click it and you're able to virtually turn the page. Okay. So I said Home Accents Today. Universal Furniture has one called Explore Home. There is Furniture Today. There's Business of Home. If anybody wants to jot down some in the comments, those are just kind of a few. My Instagram is at Mrs. Erika Ward. It's MRSERIKAWARD. Someone asked my Instagram, so that's why I'm giving you that. But at any rate, I really hope, even if you're on the fence about whether or not you want to attend, if you had reservations for any reason, I hope the time that we've spent together has helped you to lean more on this side of attending. Just come on in, because you won't regret it at all. If you want me to quickly run down a few of these points that I made, plan ahead. We talked about creating an elevator pitch, be approachable, attend networking events, utilize social media, exchange business cards, engage in meaningful conversations, and follow up. I think we all kind of need to work on the follow up sometime. Leverage technology. That may be another one. If you don't have like a technological lean, that might mean you have to actually seek out opportunities to learn more about technology and how to utilize that in your business. It's here to stay, obviously. So you may as well stay current and find some classes or things that would help you to grow in that area. Start by downloading the High Point Market app. That's a start. And also checking out the events page to see what other events that might help you grow in the area of technology. Dressing appropriately, being authentic in your interactions, respecting people's space and time, learning from others, and being patient and persistent. Okay. Patient, I think one way to help be patient, sorry for the connection. One way to help you be patient is by enjoying the journey, enjoying the process, not just, wanting to fast forward to the end result, but actually really just loving each step of the process and knowing that you're going to get there. Okay. Well, I want to close out by thanking each and every one of you for your time. Time is the most valuable asset, in my opinion. We don't get any more time in our day, but you chose to spend the 5, 10, 15 minutes, maybe an hour with us, and I do not take that for granted. So I just want to give you a heartfelt thanks. And I also want to thank High Point Market for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you and to shine the light my way because they obviously think that I have, which I know that I do, some information I love to share. And I do have the heart of a teacher. And I enjoy the opportunity to share my thoughts with you and to be able to read your comments and to be able to answer any questions that you may have. Tremendously thankful and grateful for you. I do hope you plan to attend Market this October. We'll be doing more of these Instagram live events. They're happening every Tuesday or same time, 4 o'clock Eastern time. Bria Hamill, I think, may be up next, or it may be Denise McGahey. But you can always check High Point Market's Instagram page on their feed. They'll make the announcement as to who's next. And then also you can always find everything you need on their website, highpointmarket.org. I hope everyone has the most amazing week, productive week. Blessings to each and every one of you. And thank you once again for joining me this afternoon on this conversation about building relationships at High Point Market. Be blessed, people.